Okay, fire away, guys.
Can you give us an update on why Deshaun wasn't outside of practice today?
Yeah, just part of his rehab. Still working through everything. I think with all of our guys, just going to treat all of our injured guys day to day and make sure that we're making smart decisions.
Is it possible he does not play Sunday as he continues to rehab?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into specifics about, Sunday. I know it's a broken record, but really just treat it day by day.
Did he come back from the bye still suffering from like some pain or some lingering issues?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Mary Kay. He's doing everything in his power, working around the clock with rehab. So he's just doing what he's being told to do in terms of his rehab process.
Just on that though, Kevin, if he was cleared to play in that Ravens game, what is he working on if he's medically sound?
Yeah, I think the piece there that's important is medically cleared versus functionally able to do your job. And I think that's what, with all of our guys, when you're working through an injury, you need to be able to functionally perform. And that's what Deshaun's working very hard in his rehab to be able to get back to 100%.
Has he been able to throw better strength?
Yeah, he's working through this process, and he's getting better.
Do you feel like DTR would be your starting quarterback in the event that Deshaun couldn't go?
Again, the guys did a nice job with practice today, but we're not going towards Sunday just yet. But DTR, like we talked about, young player getting better.
Can you tell us, if you don't mind, if Deshaun underwent further tests when he got back, just to make sure there's still no structural damage?
Yeah, still feel good about all those type of things. He's working really hard, doing everything that he's being asked to do medically so that we can get him back out there. And he'll be out there as soon as he's ready and functionally ready.
Kevin, AB last week told us that, ball security was priority 1 through 50
I agree.
on the chart. Other than just reinforcing, through drills and such, how do you make that not happen?
Well, I think it's the best stat there is when it comes to winning and losing, because it involves everybody. It's not just an offensive stat. It's an offense, defense, special team stat. So it's so important as you look at these games and you look like I was sitting on the couch watching these games. It's everything when you're talking about giving it away or taking it away. So we need to be better. We're -7 right now, which is not going to get it done. Now we're -7 right now. It matters what we are moving forward. So major emphasis for all three sides of the ball. Anybody who touches that rock to do everything in their power to gain yards while maintaining ball security and then getting the ball in defense and special teams. Opportunities for us to get the ball. So major point of emphasis, and then it goes back to just not the point of emphasis, but technique, and that's what we worked on today. Whether it's center quarterback exchange or a running back running through, getting the ball trying to knock it free, or with our DBs working to knock the ball out. So it goes back to not just the mentality, not just the emphasis, but also technique.
Andrew Berea said that Jed Wills isn't playing like he wants to, but he also said that he's going to play better going forward. What makes you think he's going to play better?
Yeah, I just think you focus on the work and you focus on that practice just now and getting better with your technique. When you're playing tackle in this league, you're going to have some moments where the other side gets you. There's some good rushers, as we all know, but he's going to continue to battle and I think continue to get better.
Does he play to the whistle?
Yeah, you have to. And I think with our quarterback, with extending plays, you can't just play to the whistle. You have to really play through the echo of the whistle because you're trying to keep plays alive as much as possible.
He does that?
He's trying.
Progressing with his foot.
Yeah, doing better. Do
you expect Jordan Kanasic to be back this week?
Yeah, I'm not sure about this week. He's getting really close. Another guy that's working very hard, but we'll see how the rest of this week goes.
Kevin, how pleased are you with the development individually of a lot of your guys defensively? It just seems like so many of your players on that side of the ball playing the best of their careers.
Yeah, I think that's a big piece of this, Jake, is, guys getting better year to year, getting better week to week. I think in a given season, you try to evolve offensively, defensively, special teams, if you will. But I do think there's guys that are understanding what we're doing schematically and ultimately just applying those techniques. And I think you could go specifically the defensive side of the ball. I think you could go through all three levels of guys that are really applying the techniques and having success doing it.
Kevin, did you change anything about how you handled the bye week coming off of last year?
Not material. Well, I mean, you look at everything. Yes, you look at different meetings that you have, different things that you do with the players. But I think every year is so different when the bye is so different also. So we changed things here and there, but not to say that it's wholesale.
What did you think of the 49ers?
Yeah, obviously played really well last night. Have been playing very, very good football on all three sides of the ball. We had really one eye on them last week in our work, in our bye week work, and then we'll really dive into them starting today.
What has impressed you the most about Phil Hurst up to this point in the season?
About-
Especially Maurice Hurst in the pass rush.
Mo's done a great job since he got here, just understanding the technique, and he's played in similar systems, so he understands how to, his get off and attacking blocks and those type of things. So I think it goes back to the question really that Jake asked, just about applying techniques, and he's really done a nice job.
We didn't see David out there today. How is he recovering from the burn?
Progressing, as anybody can imagine. That's a tough one. So he's progressing.
How about Joel? We didn't see Joel.
Yeah, working through something right now with Joel, but he's doing a good job.
I mean, I know the sample size isn't that big to do a self-scout, but aside from the turnover issue there, what were maybe one or two things that you took away from that?
To the team or?
Yeah, as you went through your bye week self-scout.
Yeah, I think you're right. Not a 4-game sample size, and then some circumstance with a weather game and those type of things. So you're trying to look at all of it and parse out, some individual things that we can do better with players, some schematic things. But there's so much football left to play. So you really have to be careful not to overlook, spend too much time looking at 4 games. As we know, every week's a challenge. Every week's a different challenge. Certainly this week, a very, very good football team coming to our place. So try and focus on the things that we do well and that you have to do well in terms of trying to beat a good team.
I've been getting a little bit of a disadvantage because the bye came so, I know you can't control it, but the bye comes so early that now, the typical mid-season self-scout that you might do, you're not going to be able to do that.
Well, I still think you do it. I still think when you get to that mid-season time, you just don't press pause for a week to do it, but you still absolutely look at those things. I mean, 4 games, every team typically breaks it into 4 games. They screwed it up when they made it 17. It's not divisible anymore, Jeff. But those 4 games are important to understand because typically that's what your opponent is looking at. They're looking at your last 4. So we still look at all those things every 4 games, sometimes every week. Where the bye was and where you're taking a break maybe with your players is a little bit different.
Do you have an update on Ethan Posick, and is he still day-to-day?
With all those guys, they're day-to-day. We'll update everybody when we get to Wednesday with the official injury report, but everybody's progressing. They're all doing a nice job. They're all doing what we're asking them to do.
When Nick stepped in for him, I mean, how has he just come along and rehabbed from that injury and being able to step in, have you grade out and all that?
Yeah, Nick did a good job. As you can imagine, he's a very trustworthy player, can play multiple positions for us, so really stepped in there and did a nice job.
Sit here on Monday. Are you optimistic that Deshaun Watson will face the 49ers on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to just stay to day, Mary Kay. I don't want to get too far into the week. I would tell you, he's working very, very hard. He's doing everything that he's asked to do, and getting better.
P.J. Walker has been in for 6 weeks now. Has he caught up to what you do offensively?
Yeah, I think he's caught up. He's a veteran. He's been in multiple systems, so he's caught up, like you mentioned, 6 weeks. Obviously, it's not the same as when you're here all spring and all summer, but he's a vet, so he's doing a nice job.
Last week, he talked about Jerome and just the big playability that he sees in him. I know against the Ravens he had that 26-yard run that got called back, but just when you watch him on film, how excited are you about what Andrew talks about, that explosive ability?
Yeah, we've had he's had some really good moments thus far in the season. Obviously, we want to get back to being more efficient and explosive in our run game, so he's a big part of that. He has breakaway speed, I think, is one of the things that we've seen from him. He's a guy that has the ability to run in between the tackles, but he does have a legit breakaway speed. So he's a guy that continues to work hard.
Now, when you looked at the run game, especially the last 2 weeks, what Isaac said, we can improve in these areas?
Yeah, it's multifaceted. I mean, it's play design, play call. Sometimes it's execution. It's all of it. We have to get back to being way more efficient. Okay, thanks, guys.
When you watched, I'm assuming that you may have watched the 49ers game last night, and if you did, what were your thoughts and impressions of Brock and George and the gang?
Yeah, really good team. Obviously, they're 5-0. They put some great things on tape as an offense. A lot of guys that could do a lot of things, personnel wise. So really good, explosive team. I feel like Brock Purdy does a great job with the ball, and they got a great running back, some pass catchers, Kittle, good old line, and so it's going to be. I'm excited for the opportunity to go against a great team, and yeah, we're excited.
What's unique about Kittle comparative to when you put it with an Andrews or a Kelsey or somebody like that? What makes him unique?
Yeah, Kittle, man, he's a really good blocker too. He's a little thinner than Andrews, but you watch him on tape, he could block as good as he could catch. You know what I mean? He's I feel like he's a complete tight end. You can kind of line him out. With the wide flex, he can kind of do things there. But with his run game, he's kind of one of their big guys in the run game and helping block, chip DNs, and working up to linebackers. And so, and obviously he scored 3 times, so you guys know what he could do when he catches the ball. But just wanted to highlight his blocking game too. So yeah, excited to go up against him.
How imposing is that offense when you watch them on tape? I mean, you watch it on TV and they just seem to, hit you hard, hit you fast.
Yeah, well-coached team. I feel like they do a good job, taking care of the ball, making sure that, they're not giving it away. Brock Purdy does a great job with his reads. A lot of movement pre-snap, a lot of eye candy, but, I think they're a real solid team. Obviously, it's the reason why they're 5-0, and tip our hat to those guys. We're excited for the matchup.
It seems with Kittle and with McCaffrey in the passing game, they kind of stress the linebackers more than most teams. Is that fair to say, at least in the passing game? Or?
Not really. Every team has what they do right. I feel like, yeah, it'll be a big challenge for us, but got trust in the guys that we have, and it'll be a good match.
To kind of combat that eye candy. I mean, it seemed like the Ravens kind of threw a little bit of that at you guys, but with how much motion the 49ers.
Yeah, just being prepared for it. Just knowing that they're going to do that. They're going to probably watch tape and knew. You know what I mean? Saw that it worked a few times on us, but that's just what they do. I think it was like 80% of the time, they have pre-snap movement, and so just being aware of that. You know what I mean? Knowing that they're going to move guys and run some other plays.
That Ravens game, and then looking ahead to this one, did you guys miss tackles, or did they do something? It seemed like they had more success running than the first 3 opponents. So how do you make sure that doesn't happen this Sunday?
Yeah, just getting back to the details, man. We pride ourselves on a team that swarms to the ball, tackles guys, including myself. So I feel like, just getting back out here on a Monday, and working on the details of bringing your feet and working, as a whole of swarming to the ball.
So did you not swarm as well as you did, not you personally, but I mean
we could do better, for sure, yeah. We could do better.
Coach Stefanski said there's an emphasis on both ball security and taking the ball away defensively and in special teams. What do you think is going on turnover-wise defensively?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest stat, in football that helps teams win. So I feel like, we just got to do better as a whole, keeping the ball, and then as a defense, taking it away. And we work on that, every day as a team. So we'll continue to get after it until it's right.
A month of watching you guys defensively, what would you say is the biggest difference in mentality defensively from last year?
The bond with the guys, and then the scheme stuff is kind of different this year. Letting the front four just kind of get after and hit certain spots, and so I feel like that helps us out. And then we have great cover guys. With the back end, we've been talking about this for months now, and I feel like it's you guys are starting to see. Obviously, we could do better, and so that's why the bye came at a good time for us to kind of see what we've been doing good and what we've been doing bad, and just kind of fix up the things we need to do.
Do you feel like the scheme fits the personnel well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we have the right guys, and 4 games. You know what I mean. We'll see what the next 4. It's a long season. You know what I mean. So, we're excited to keep this thing going, get back on track.
Over at the other sideline, you have one of the best linebacker duos in the league in Drake Greenlaw and
Right.
Fred Warner. What makes them so good?
Yeah, I actually play with Fred at BYU, so that's my dude, man. He's a baller, very smart player who's really disciplined, and Greenlaw is obviously physical. And those guys just fly around to the ball. I feel like the schemes have fit them well, and they've been putting it on tape year after year. So excited to see those guys in action too. It'd be good.
What do you take away from Fred during your time with him?
Yeah, just the biggest thing, he was a real disciplined guy, you know what I mean? At a time where, you're 18, 19, kind of, you know what I mean, kind of learning things, I felt like he was just very mature for his age in college, and it's definitely paying off.
Hey, you mentioned,
Sorry,
is McCaffrey kind of guy that makes that offense go? I mean, they have all those weapons.
Yeah, they have all those weapons, but McCaffrey definitely, adds more explosiveness to their offense. Him being fast, the stuff that they could do with him, lining him out in empty, letting him run routes, and then also what he does in the backfield. He's an explosive player. Definitely helps the offense be more explosive.
You've heard it a couple of times. He goes from last pick in the draft to now he's like the leading MVP candidate. What is so impressive about it?
I feel like most impressive is just how consistent he has been with his reps and the games he's been out there starting. I feel like that's probably I would say the most. And then, he just took advantage when he got his opportunity. Went out there and, took advantage, and then, no looking back. He's kind of their guy. So I feel like he's been doing well.
How's your knee hold up?
What's that?
How do you feel? I mean, how does the knee feel?
Yeah, no, the knee's strong. Obviously, it was good to get out there for 4 games and really, get out there and gain confidence and run around, letting myself know that I'm fine. And so I'm excited for these next 13 games, you know what I mean, to really get after it, just knowing that, the knee is strong, a ton of rehab, continue to stay up on the little things. So, yeah, everything's good there.
Did it take you 4 games to feel like that, or the first game?
No, I would say the first game I kind of knew. I'm like, okay, and then practice, the staff did a great job kind of just, let me go, at my pace. And then, I feel like with the 4 games, it definitely just built more confidence after time. But I knew after the first game that I was going to be good.
the defensive line made you a better player.
Oh yeah, that whole, you know what I mean, our defensive line, that's our team, you know what I mean? So, they make the defense go. When those guys are firing, getting sacks, disrupting stuff, makes, my job much easier. So I'm happy to play behind some of those big boys, let them do their thing, and then let me come and just clean stuff up. So it meshes well. Thank you, guys.
Did you get a chance to watch the 49ers last night?
Yeah, we watching them.
You know, what did you think of Fred Warner? What did you think of their defense and just how dominant they were?
Overall, it's a great defense. And I feel, yeah, pretty much a great defense.
I mean, you guys just played a pretty good defense and a good defensive front. Do you feel like this is the best defense that you guys have faced this season, the 49ers?
Yeah, I think they're one of the best defenses we're gonna face this season yet.
How have you grown into this role as the lead back now that this will be your fourth game in that role?
Just kind of taking it day by day and making sure my routine is on point every day, and one game at a time.
Instead of over the bye week, they looked at offense, the run game after the couple of struggles the last two games. Where do you think you guys can make the biggest improvements in the run game?
I think, like you said, with Coach Stefanski, that's probably a better question for him.
The Baltimore game was the first game we played against Baltimore as a starter. And did that take a physical toll on you? The game really lost it to me.
Not really. It was definitely fun to be out there and compete.
How do you feel after a week off?
Feel pretty good, ready to go.
Had Kareem back in the building, and do you see him coming along as he kind of gets back in shape after not being anywhere during the preseason and camp?
It's great having Kareem. Like I said before, when Nick went down and he came in, he kind of added a spark back to the running back room and to the team. And Kareem, he looked like he was in pretty good shape. As far as his body, he looked really good.
Did you guys feel like you had, some runs early in that Ravens game? I know you had the long one that got called back on the hold. Did you feel like there were maybe some runs there early?
Yeah. I mean, any run that get called back is kind of frustrating, but it's a next play mentality. Whether it's called back, you break it, whatever it is, it's more game to play. So we kind of just focus on the next one each time, and we look back on it later on.
How hard is it not having Deshaun out there against the Ravens? And is do you have any concern that today he's inside, he wasn't out there with you coming back from the bye, that he's not going to be able to go on Sunday?
We kind of put our faith in DTR. He's a second-string quarterback, just like I was a second-string running back, So when it was time for him to step up, we were like next man up, and we would rally behind him just like we rallied behind Deshaun.
He struggled obviously in that first game, but do you think if he got a second start, we'd kind of get to see a little more?
Definitely. Yep, definitely.